Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Raja from IIT Madras. I am an MS Research Scholar in the Department of Electrical Engineering at IIT Madras. Along with, I am also pursuing BS in Data Science at IIT Madras online BSc degree program. So, many times, student, especially from non-mathematics background, non-science background, generally ask me that how to approach mathematics problems, especially for the qualifier. So I have seen a lot of students, especially from the non-mathematics background, struggle to clear the qualifier exam for BS Data Science or BS Electronic System. And the one major field in which they struggle is the mathematics or statistics. So in this video, I am going to share some of my tips which you can utilize so that you can increase your score and increase your performance in the subjects related to mathematics. So in this video, I am going to talk about the its tips in general, but later on in some another video, I will also show you how you can apply these tips to a particular question so that you will understand its importance, its relevance in particular. So let's talk about the 5 tips after which you can utilize to improve your score or performance or whatever you can say understand. So first tip which I want to share is visualize rather than analyze. So it is visualize rather than analyze. So by this I mean to say, uh, instead of solving a mathematical question analytically, solve it through a visualization, graphical approach, or pictorial approach. In many questions related to mathematics, especially in set theory, in coordinate geometry, in lines, graph, or graph theory, we have option to solve it either through analytical approach or through a graphical approach. For example, in a particular set theory, you might come across some question in which you can either solve through a Venn diagram or you can solve through a particular analytical equation directly. So in that, I always try to solve the question through the visualization approach. I always solve the question through pictorial approach. So first, whenever you come across such question, draw a graph, pie chart, or Venn diagram, or whatever related to this question. Even if the question do not have any graph or pictorial things as such, so first write down the values and then solve the question. If you follow this approach, then you will understand the question in more depth. uh, Many times we remember the formula, we just put the values and get the solution, but in that situation we do not understand the relevance of the question. So but when you draw some pictures, uh, or visualize the question in that manner, if you approach to that manner, you will understand the question in more to more relevant aspect. So it also said like pictures say a thousand more um, um, pictures say a lot instead of words, something like this. So always try to solve the question through visualization if you have option. The next thing is memorize, learn, and apply. That is memorize, learn, and apply. So in mathematics, you might come across a lot of formulas related to different things. So many times student got confused like which formula to remember, which formula to memorize, how to remember all these formulas. So I am just saying, first try to memorize all formula. Even if you do not understand, try to memorize. Then learn. Then try to learn. There is a subtle difference between the memorize and learn. In memorization, that is rote learning. You just remember whatever is written without understanding anything. So I'm just saying, first memorize. Even you do not understand its relevance, just memorize. Because if you memorize, you will understand a little. If you memorize 100%, you will understand a little, 5% at least. So first memorize and then learn. So learning means to just try to understand the concept behind it. For example, in trigonometry, you might come across a very famous formula: sine square x plus cos square x equal to 1. So I'm just saying, first memorize this formula without understanding it completely. Just memorize it, rote learn it. Then once you memorize it completely, then start learning the concept behind it, how it came, why this formula is true, why we use this formula so much in the trigonometry, in the calculus, why. So after learning its concept, then try to apply this formula in the questions. So once you apply this formula or these formulas in particular to a lot of question, then definitely you will understand its relevance and understand the concept behind it, and in the long run you will be able to apply it whenever you come across a question involving these formulas. So this approach is quite useful in the calculus part. So in differentiation, integration, you have to remember a lot of formula. So if you follow this approach, memorize, learn, and apply, then you can easily crack the integration part. So even if you from the non-mathematics background, you can use this approach to uh, calculus part specifically. After that, the another approach which I'm going to share with you is finding the missing. So this is the finding the missing. So this approach is just like a puzzle. So like in puzzle, you have a lot of missing pieces, and you have to fit the pieces into the puzzle, and then after that you complete the puzzle. So just like that. So you have to first understand the question. Why? So you have to first ask what is the question. So then after asking the what is the question, you will get some answer. So just write it down. So like that I am saying, first write what is given. So in elementary educations, in elementary classes, especially class 10th or 8th, we just write given, to prove, to find, like this. But as we grow up, so we do not bother to write this. But I am just saying, but just saying that this is actually important, because we have to know what is what all values we have been provided. So just write given, and then write to find, or to prove, or to like this. So if you write this, you will get to know that this what this question is asking all about. So through this approach, you will get to know what part is missing in this question. So once you figure out what part is missing in this particular question, then intuitively you will come across a formula related to this missing part automatically in your mind. So once you got the formula, just put this missing piece into that formula, and then you will get the solution. So this approach is quite useful actually. It seems quite naive and quite simple approach, but in principle it is very useful. So you just have to find the missing part. So once you find the missing part, then your job is done. Just apply the formula. So actually, it seems quite usual that missing part you can easily find, but in many cases you might come across like descriptive question. This is quite useful in descriptive questions. So in descriptive question, the a lot of description is given. So in that you have to convert first into a mathematical problem. So after converting the mathematical problem, you have to analyze what all variables are given, and what you have to find, what you have to analyze, so that you can uh, find the missing part, and then find the missing part value through analysis or whatever. So this is the approach. Then another approach is, can you please explain? That is, can you please explain? So this approach is quite useful once you learn the concept. So like in mathematics, uh, after once you learn the concept, and then you apply the concept and solve the question and find the values. And in this approach, I'm just saying, can you please explain? So whatever you understand, so you have to explain. Once you explain the question to someone else, then it means you have fully understood the problem. But if you're not able to explain any question to other, it means you have not fully understood the question, fully understood the concept. So you have to rethink about it, you have to re-explore it. So this is also quite useful approach. So even if you do not have someone else whom you can explain, just explain to yourself. So I always use this approach. So this is actually the approach which is very useful, especially during revision time. So during revision, so you have limited time, but you have to understand the go through all the concept also. So whatever you have understood, just explain to yourself, and if you are satisfied with your explanation, then it means you have done, you are done, you have fully understood. And you have someone else whom you can explain, then it is fine. So you can explain to him, and if he is satisfied, you can assure yourself that you have understood the concept. And if he or she has some question, then you can answer that question. So this is quite powerful approach, especially for revision purpose. And then the last but not least is go with trend. That is go with trend. So this is also a quite useful approach, especially for cracking the examination. So this is quite useful, especially for cracking the examination. So every examination, whether it is JE, JE Advanced, GATE, or even this Iitm Qualifier, all this examination has particular trend. So you have to first analyze what is the trend. So which topic, uh, from which topic, a lot of questions are being asked, and am I comfortable with that topic or not? So for analyzing the trend, what you need first practice. So you have to practice a lot. But what you have to practice? So you have to practice a lot previous questions, previous year question, activities question, and the question related to the particular concept. So once you solve the question, a lot of question related to the previous year, so you will automatically analyze the trend, and you will automatically understand how the question will be in the final exam. So once you come across the final exam question, so you can easily solve the question. So this approach is quite useful for the examination point of view. So I'm just saying, uh, solve a lot of question, understand the trend, solve, go through the previous year paper activities question, and then understand what is going on from which topic. The lot of questions are being asked, so cover that aspect more importantly. For example, in the BS program, in EndSem, uh, the whole syllabus is there from week 1 to week 12. But if you analyze the trend, you will understand that during the end sem, you have to first cover the week 9 to week 12. So if you are comfortable to week 9 to week 12, you can easily score 80%. Only 20% came through the rest week. So all this analysis will be there with you if you analyze the trend. So if, for example, even for the quiz 2, you have to just study the week 5 to week 8. Even if you do not study week 1 to week 4, you can easily crack the quiz 2. But you have to understand that the week 5 to week 8 is based on the week 1 to week 4. So you have to consider that fact also. So this all I'm saying that you have to analyze the pattern. So you have to do data analysis like this. So let me uh, revise all this approach in brief. So first I told you, like, visualize rather than analyze. So whenever you come across a mathematical question, so try to solve it pictorially through visualization rather through the analytical equations. So avoid using equation if it is possible. So this is particularly useful in the set function coordinate geometry, which is covered a lot in the first 4 weeks of the mathematics part. So you can use this approach very, very well. And then the second approach is the memorize, learn, and apply. So whatever formula you come across, just try to memorize all of them, rote learn it, then learn the concept behind it, and then apply it in the questions. And once you apply the question, you will understand its relevance. And as the days go on, as days will go on, so you will understand the formulas, and uh, and eventually you will memorize the formula by heart, and you will understand its concept as well. Then third one is finding the missing. So always whenever you come across a question, first try to find what value is missing, how to approach the how to find this missing formula. Then eventually you will come across the uh, right formula in your mind automatically. So for that, write the given part to find, and then you can analyze the question accordingly. So this is quite useful, especially for the descriptive type question in which there are a lot of garbage description, but you have to separate out the garbage from the separate out the required values from the garbage, and you have to find the missing part. And then fourth one is, can you please explain? So whenever you understand the concept, whenever you uh, understand some concept, whenever you solve a question, so that try to explain to yourself. If you are satisfied with your own explanation, then it means you have understood the concept really well. So this is quite useful for the revision purpose. And then fifth one is go with trend, which I have explained. Just try to analyze the pattern, and once you analyze the pattern, you will automatically reduce your workload by almost 50%. So analysis is very important. That's why we study the data analysis, because it has a quite relevance in the real life. So that's all. So in upcoming days, I will also make some videos related to the particular question, in which I will show how to apply this approach, so that you will understand the relevance of this approach uh, really well. So that's all for this video. I hope this video will help you to some extent. So thank you for watching this video. Uh, so happy learning. Goodbye. Take care.